something?
Well, we don't want it to be hot just yet, though, right? Do we? I don't know.
I went 65 just to be here for fucking nothing.
I told you couldn't got the Chinese food.
We told you to go.
One.
I'm gonna see another fucking Chinese food. I can't.
We went to the cafeteria and we tried the
One.
Hey, Jermaine.
Yeah.
It was like rubbery and it was like not good.
keyboard wherever their microphone is.
Well, we're using, we have that shotgun mic. It picks up everything.
Can you hold it over here? Because it's so far over there.
I can hear it in my earpiece and it sounded all right.
Okay, I'm missing an announcer. Sean is here.
I'm here, but where's Edwin?
I can't find it. Sean, stand by.
And your position.
Check.
Anybody know where Edward's at?
Where's Edward?
I don't know. Eddie, can you go forward?
No, we have to be on camera.
My watch just died.
That's distracting.
He's gonna stand by right now.
We're in big trouble here. Come on. Edward. Come on, Edward. I got a show to do.
Was that Diet Pepsi? Pepsi Zero?
Guys, stand by positions, please.
We got it, Jermaine. Thank you. Doing a sound checks. Go ahead. If you guys have to sound check, we don't want to interrupt you. We want to make sure that you guys are.
Oh, he's been demoted.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
The vocals were low on the broadcast.
On the what?
On the broadcast, are these vocals low? We heard that, oh, maybe it's just in the room they're not heard so good.
Welcome to College Radio Day. I'm Sean Quinn.
And I'm Edward Rentasso. Long Beach City College has won first place on College Radio Day 3 years in a row. This year's College Radio Day theme is Defenders of Democracy.
Well, we decided to stay away from the political scene and change things up a bit, making this live webcast a celebration of life of Douglas Wood.
Doug was the radio, television, and streaming equipment technician for the radio and TV program, now named Television and Emerging Media, which is part of the Visual and Media Arts Department here at Long Beach City College.
Besides his important work at LBCC, he and Judy Baker were students at the college and went on to be co-founders of Long Beach Public Media Corporation, parent of SCC license, KLBP 99.1, public radio. KLBP can be heard in the surrounding harbor areas, including Long Beach, San Pedro, and worldwide at klbc.org.
Doug was heavily involved with the local music scene here in Long Beach, and today, in the true spirit of Doug Wood, we'll have a few bands with us to celebrate, as well as some interviews with people who worked along with Doug to support radio, music, and video production here at Long Beach City College and KLBP.
So let's get this celebration of life started with a performance by Slush Box.
We invite everyone to take a collective inhale. Pause. The live stream is live, and we are all here alive. We're celebrating a life. Let yourself inhale and enjoy this moment. Thank you, LBCC. Thank you, Doug Wood, for all you have brought us. Thank you, Judy. Just feel the space just for a few more moments. When else do we get to share space together on a live stream? Let's do it. We start off sink or swim, evolving, following our whims. Slush is the way that we move about. The boxes in your head break on out. part of the slush box. Our human nature is slushy and wet. Death and birth and procreation are all messy stuff, slushy, but we live in a box world. We're here in academia, we're here in a box of Long Beach, we're here in a box of Cali. But we all come from that one source of liquidity, and we always can grow out of the box into new shoots and make new boxes. So love what you are doing and be in love with yourself. These vehicles we are in are our own wetsuits. It's the right say, what is all this dream theme? What's going on here with you all? Are you leprechauns or something? Well, we are leprechaun warriors for the planet. We're leprechaun warriors for light. We're all cultures. We're omnicultural. We're omnipresent right now, all together in this space of life that will live on forever. Think about that. And do we remember our ancestors? Yes. with us today, tonight, in the middle of the night, in the middle of the morning, whenever you tune into this broadcast again. Be in the now. Be with us now whenever you look at this again. Know that we are sending out good vibrations around the planet. We're celebrating the good green energy of the heart chakra. The heart energy is where it's at. We're leading with our hearts in the music that we do. We are original writers. We were born and raised in Long Beach. I'm speaking for this gentleman here. Born and raised in Long Beach. We were met at this college like decades ago in the music department. We've been together a few decades. It's hard to imagine doing music together.
And it's been amazing ever since.
We met this wonderful man, Terry Frost on the drums. Yes, he's been on this journey with us for some 15 plus years. And I didn't introduce myself. I'm Sharon G. And I love to inspire people with music, with creative arts, with finding their creative expression. And we're going to leave you all with a little short piece about, it's kind of like the Dagagoo we just talked about. We're in this world where there's great stuff going on, and there's not so great stuff going on, and it's a mixture. But you know what? Sometimes you have to taste the bitterness and the darkness of life to appreciate what's really brilliant and wonderful. And this song was inspired by that stuff that doesn't taste so good. Took the bitter pill to remember what is sweet. If it could be that simple.
right, folks, that was Slushbox. Can we get one more round of applause for them? Aren't they amazing? That's great. Come on down here. Let's get Mark, Sharon, Tara, if you want to join us. Come on down, guys. Let's talk for a few seconds, shall we? So, yeah, right over here on this side. I think we can get all three of you in here. Around the ring. So, as we know, your guy's name is Slushbox. Sharon, do you want to tell us how did you guys come about? Like, what made you guys start the band?
Thank you. You know, we really have a lot of respect for the creative process, and sometimes we really feel like we're little kids in pre-K. You know, we've got that box with all the crayons, and we get the finger paints, and then there's all this paper on the table, and we just start making some things that feel right to us, and that's really how it started. And it's just the slushiness of the art of life, but you know, we're in that boxed world. Like, you know, they ultimately take that little painting, you know, that we all do as kids, and somehow it comes up off the table in this rectangle or square package, and all of a sudden, like, there it is. It's frozen in time. It's in a box. It's extracted. All the mess is gone. There it is. It's just put in a frame. And it's kind of like that juxtaposition. Oh, right.
Yeah, a refrigerator would be nice.
Put it in another box that's got some slush in it. Yeah.
Mark, you and Sharon have been doing this together the longest, and Terry joined you guys, like you said, about 15-ish years ago. How did you and Sharon meet? I know she kind of touched on it. You guys met while you were here in the music department and the program. How did that go when you guys were students here at Long Beach?
Well, you know, how I met Sharon was really a great story, because we were both in a production class, and the teacher was dividing the students up between people who wanted to write songs and people who wanted to record songs. And so he was you know, picking people out and matching them up with the genres or whatever. And Sharon raised her hand. She said she wanted to do rock and roll. And so I was on the other side of the room, and I said, "I'll do rock and roll." And that's how we started. We did our first song together at Long Beach City College, and it went really great. And from there, we just bloomed out and blossomed into what we're doing now.
That's great. As we all know, today is a celebration of life for Doug. We all miss him. He was taken from us too soon, and it just didn't seem like it was the right time for him to go. But do you guys have any good memories? Like, what are some of the highlights of your time with Doug, both as students and then going forward with his career in the radio here with KCTY and KLBP and everything that he and Judy were a part of, and then when you guys came into the picture, anything you can tell us about that?
You know, I remember Doug in the early days at Long Beach City College, and he was just always helpful. He was always like, "Do you need anything? Is everything going all right in the room?" Because sometimes I'd be in there recording, and he would come in and check in and just say, "Okay, you guys are cool in here, everything great," and he was just so. He was such a great lover of what he was doing, and it really came across. He wasn't just there as a job. He really enjoyed the TV, radio department and just everything that was going on there, and it just really showed.
Sharon, anything?
I like his easygoing manner is so wonderful in the studio, or you know, in the radio, on the radio show, the Doug and Judy radio show. His manner is so calm that like he would be like a walking sound bowl in action. Like I just feel like he just sort of made the space like, you just see that smile, those, you know, sweet eyes, and he just, you know, there was never like, hurry up, get it, you know, 2 minutes of time. You know, it's just like he was just there. Okay, is everything good? And that calmness was so, you know, I appreciate that sweet demeanor.
What was the happiest memory that you have with him? Ooh. Who wants to go first on that one?
You know what? We did some shows. We did some shows with Doug and Judy at the KLB radio station, and he was just really great at getting everything moving and everything going, and he was very friendly, like I said earlier. But in those moments, he was just so into it and enjoyed what he was doing so much. So that's all.
Sharon, any happy
Let's
memories
see,
with Doug?
I just remember it was really fun. One time we played on Pine Avenue with an event, and he was offering us like a meal or something, but like there was all this stuff going on. It's like he really wanted, it was part of like the catering or whatever. And it's just, I think he was like baffled that we either didn't have time. I can't remember what we were doing, but it was so almost like a rain check.
Yeah, I think we were running late, and he offered us a rain check on
Yeah.
on dinner.
I think he was mystified that like just order something. And it's like we don't even have time to look at a menu. We're not even hungry or whatever. It's just kind of funny. And I remember he just kind of looked like oh, you want to get something. So I don't know, just sort of a funny little memory.
If Doug was still around, if there was anything you could talk to him about right now, what would you guys be talking about?
We'd probably be sharing our next projects and our next ideas and our next, whatever we're doing and coming up with next to be who we are as artists. And I think it would just be a really fun conversation of the future.
Yes, respect for the path, what he was working with Judy too, just what they were doing for the community. Just to be involved in that and see it would be great. So I'd want to see the vision. How do they stay sane together? I mean, the more you are together with someone, the more, sane and insane it can be at the same time. So really, yeah, we can speak about that a lot. That'll be another, live stream.
Oh, yeah.
But that, just how do you all keep it together and manage to just show up with your sweet personalities and just, they're putting everything together. They really have put so much together. So how do you do that?
Doug may not be with us in person, but he's here. He's here with us in spirit. He's somewhere. There's always somewhere that a person goes after death.
You left a presence though with these people.
Oh, of course.
There's all that history with all those people.
If there was anything you could say to Doug right now, as he watches this and sees where everything's gone since his passing, what would you be telling him?
The spirit of what you started, the seeds of what you made are sprouting. They're sprouting today. Look at all these wonderful people here, people that are tuning in. We're all being a part of this. It's a labor of love. So look what you've done. It continues. It doesn't matter that the building is being renovated at the other campus or whatever. We're here and here making it happen. So just, it's bringing people together. So even though you're not here, you're bringing us all together.
That's one thing that Doug always loved was that's what Doug always loved, was bringing people together. All right.
Yes.
Everybody, this is Mark, Sharon, Terry. This is Slushbox. One more round of applause if we could. All right. You guys have done such a good job. Thank you for being here. Right now, we have my partner, Edward, in the other room. He is with two of Doug's personal colleagues, and they are going to be interviewing with Edward right now. So, Edward, bring us those two colleagues, will you?
Well, thank you, Sean. I'm here with Ken Borgers and Eric Knorr. Ken used to be the music teacher here at Long Beach City College. Eric used to be the instructor for the music class. We were talking about off camera. Ken, let me start with you. When did you first meet Doug here at the campus?
Oh, boy. You'd have to go back 25 years or so. Doug and his significant other, Judy, were in my class. And they did a classical music show together. And now, fast forward, if I may, I don't know, 10 years or so later, and they came to me and they said, Mr. Borges, the FCC has allocated low-power FM frequencies in the Los Angeles area. One of them's going to be in Long Beach. And we were thinking about, trying to apply and get that license. And I said, I wouldn't waste my time. I said, it'd be probably 10 years would go by, cost you $1 million. You'd have to fight 1 million people to get to just, And they said, okay, well, thanks. And they went away and applied anyway. And then they'd come back every couple of years. And they'd say, you know, Mr. Borgers, the FCC. And I said, well, you know, great kids. You know, I pat them on the head and good luck, you know. And 10 years later, they came to me and said, Mr. Borgers, we're the winning applicants for.
Oh, that's cool.
They actually won the application for a low power station in Long Beach. It is and it's running now, thanks to Doug and Judy.
Yes.
And it's the last station that'll ever be licensed in Long Beach. There are no more available spots, and it's a tremendous opportunity for anybody who's interested at all in doing radio. You can just go down there and get a show. You can look at klbp.org, you see the website, and you'll see how to sign up, and you know. But it's all due to Doug and Judy, and a lot of people from Long Beach City College have been through there and are down there now as we speak. So, hey, you know, a word to the wise if you're interested.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Awesome to know that's here in Long Beach. And Eric, let me bring you on here. When did you first meet Doug as far as?
Well, I was thinking when you asked him the question, I think it was probably around 2016, 2015. I was teaching the music video class, music video production class. And also, I think there was another production class in there somewhere. And he had taken the position of being the video tech equipment guy. And so it started then where, you know, for 3 hours we're working together trying to put these things together. And these were crazy busy classes. We used all the equipment. It was a pretty stressful job on him more than me. But, you know, we just got along. He did his job, and over the years I got to know him better and better, and I think we grew to be quite good friends over the years. So that was about 2016, and that lasted until the plague. And then basically we went online, and Doug was still providing equipment for people that came to campus, and he would still make sure that everybody got what they needed for their productions. And yeah, I mean, I could go on, but go ahead. I'm sure you have another question or two.
Well, you talked about we talked about this off camera. You were talking about the music finals more. Tell me about how interesting was those classes, especially that final time for your music class.
Well, I guess I don't need to market those classes anymore because I'm no longer teaching them. But they were pretty intensive. We had semesters where we probably did 22, 23, I think was our record, videos. And these got to be very complicated sometimes. And besides using our 3 cameras, the crane, and we'd plug in 2 or 3 extra cameras. And this, of course, I'm bringing up because this is all on Doug. Mm-hmm. I'm just pointing fingers, and Doug is running back and forth, finding all these things in cases and shelves and this and that.
If I could just interrupt.
No,
Doug, a lot of engineers at student organizations are very protective of their equipment. You know, they want to keep it safe for students, but what that really means is they want to keep it safe from students. And it's very hard at many schools that are supposedly production oriented for students to get their hands on equipment. Not so with Doug. He was always, you know, he has a history going back long way before he got involved here. He and Judy ran public access television in Long Beach for many years with Professor Ron Petke from here. They were over there, and their passion was getting people connected with equipment, teaching them how to use it, people who'd never done television. So when they got over here, they had students who didn't know how to work equipment, and you know, students are experimenting. So equipment's going to break. Doug didn't care. You know, Doug was passionate in defense of student education in media, and I don't think don't think I'm out of line in saying that I certainly couldn't have begun to do the stuff that we did without Doug on the radio.
Absolutely. And your point of that it was always about the students, that was really what he could do to pay it forward. He had this incredible, and I'm glad you brought that up, he had this incredible technical experience. He worked on satellite TV and those trucks that used to be all
Oh,
over
yes.
the planet, but do the uplink for it. But he really knew his engineering. He knew the equipment. He kept up with the equipment. But the point was always about the students. It was always about getting them to do the best they can, the best project they could produce. And if I'm not going to take too much time here, he would go out of his way to be sure that a student would get the equipment. I know that sounds like a minor thing, but when you're going to do like your production that Saturday and you're stuck in traffic and you know Doug's office hours with the equipment ends at 5 o'clock. I remember we were somewhere after a pre-light for like radio days or something like that. We were having dinner, and about an hour or two after he was off the clock, some student said, "I'm here. I know I'm an hour and a half late. I drove in from, I don't know, San Bernardino, some crazy place like that." He drove back. He opened up his shop, opened up the building, his pile of goodies, and he would give him all the equipment he needed that was available for that weekend because he wanted them to succeed. And that really, for me, was one of those sort of behaviors or moments where it really showed what he wanted sort of out of his job and out of life, basically. He did want to share. He didn't want to move it forward.
I've got to tell a Doug story because it's one of my favorite Doug stories. He was an incredible pack rat. He had, everything. His office looked like the W.C. Fields movie where he's in the room and there's a pile of stuff in the center of the room. It's just a huge pile of stuff, and he's in charge of it. And people would rush in and they say, "I need the Mitchell file." He said, "Oh yes, the Mitchell file." And he'd reach in and pull it out and hand it to the guy. And so then they came and they cleaned it all up and they made everything neat and nobody could find anything. Well, Doug was the Mitchell file. Doug was the W.C. Fields character. He had everything in his office. It looked like a hurricane had hit his office, but he knew where everything was. As an example, my boss at the station where I was had a file of names of members of an organization that he was running, and he'd made it so long ago. He'd made it, believe it or not, on an Apple, a Mac II. Okay, this is a machine that goes back to almost to the beginnings of Macintosh, prehistoric. And this is probably in the 2020s sometime, or sort of 2000 teens, I guess. And but he had this file on this Mac II program. The program didn't exist anymore. He had this ancient machine that he used, and he couldn't update it because the thing wouldn't go on to a later system. So he was still limping along with this Mac. And then the mouse died on this machine. So he came to me and he said, "I know you know some tech people. Is there any chance you know anybody would have a Mac II mouse?" I said, "Let me find out." And I came over to Long Beach City College. Doug said, "Well, I think I can find, let me look around." Day later, he came back. He had a mouse for a Mac II. I mean, the machine had been, it's a museum piece now. Doug had a mouse for a Mac II. My guy was able to get his list and but that was Doug. He would, whatever you needed, he could come up with it.
Yeah. Well, and he also went that extra mile just for the sort of the organization of our classes. That one little story I could tell would be one of the musical video productions. The student didn't tell me, but in the middle of it, this prop person, their head blew up, basically, and splattered blood and whatever on the green screen. And we were there till 1 o'clock in the morning. He never complained once. Maybe even later. I think we paid off the cleaning people with a pizza. But we were there till 1 o'clock in the morning, repainting the green screen. And there was stuff on the curtains, the floor. It was like this major cleanup job. And there was never a moment that it wasn't fun, because we helped these people do this crazy video that they could do because, well, we were willing, but also Doug was not going to punch out at 5 o'clock or 9 o'clock whenever the shift ended that day. It really was the extra effort that he just put in all the time.
And what we're doing tonight is kind of a mini sound wave. They used to have a live music thing that we did, a day-long music event called Sound Wave. That was also because of Doug, because there was an event that happened every year in radio called College Radio Day. And it was a nationwide event to raise awareness about college radio. It was started by a guy back east who ran a college radio station. And we joined, and we participated in College Radio Day. But we had so much fun doing it that we didn't want to wait another year. And along with Doug's help, we couldn't have done it without Doug, we decided every other 6 months, when there was College Radio Day, well, every 6 months after that, we did a live local event with local artists, local bands, and we called it Soundwave. Doug engineered all of those. I mean, without Doug, they would not have happened. Yeah. They were streamed live on YouTube, and you remember those. You were a key part of them too, because Eric did the video side of those, and it was an audio video event for students. And again, Doug and Eric were instrumental in making those happen.
You did a lot too, my friend.
I queued up CDs, but the technical part was you guys.
Yeah, well, here's a perfect example of sort of interweave that with your story, and a sort of a Doug moment was we were going to do I think it was Soundwave. It was 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Doug was still pulling cables from the studio into the radio stations. And I go, Doug, I gotta just go home and sleep for like 2 or 3 hours because it's an all-day event. So I went home. I think I came back like 9, 10 o'clock, still plugging in cameras, just dragging equipment around. And that wasn't for comp hours or overtime or what was in his job description, but he really wanted these things to succeed, not for himself. Nobody gave him a bonus check for that. Nobody gave him a trophy at the end of it. He did it because he wanted the students just to have the best experience. And that's with my editing class also. I have a dozen stories.
It was a classic example of the old adage that you can get anything done if you don't care who gets the credit.
That's a very good point.
Doug was that person. Yeah. So many things happened at Long Beach City College that would not have happened were it not for Doug. And the 9 to 5 types would sometimes get upset with Doug because they'd say, "Hey, but he's not in his office. I can't find him." Well, he was probably down at the other campus, or he was probably over helping a student do something somewhere. He literally worked, around the clock. The hours meant nothing to him. Whatever had to be done, he did it.
Your evolution from the college radio days, which I should insert the little thing, is that 3 years in a row we won the nationwide sort of like trophy or whatever it was against four-year colleges. We were the only community college that won. And boy, that goes a few feathers in his cap.
They called it the Spirit of College Radio Award.
That's what it was.
And it was given to each year, given to half a dozen stations. We actually won 4 years out of 5. There was 1 year we didn't win.
3.
And the thing about it was that, as Eric said, all the other radio stations were 4-year. The winners were always private schools from back east, or Tulane University in New Orleans, or something like that. And here we were, Long Beach City College. 1 year we went up to not the Pantages, but there was some theater up in Los Angeles where they did the finals, and it was like a red carpet, kind of thing. But we wouldn't have been there without Doug. Yeah, Doug always helped us conceive of some special thing that we would to do each year that kind of set us apart from all the other people. Yeah. So,
and
Doug,
another
we miss
thing,
you.
Yes, very much so. And another thing we spun off as Soundwave became the every 6 months from college radio days, we started Jammin' Live. When we had that, we had a sort of you have a meeting after the production where you sort of take apart the experience, kind of a debrief. And that's the first debrief because I'd been involved with the last 3. And I asked the question, I said, why do we do this like every month? Why do we? And then the whole group just said, yeah, and Doug was part of that. So now we gave him all this extra work for Soundwave that he asked for. But here again, now it was going to be 6 different productions added to this already crazy sound wave and radio days.
And all the other things he had to do for the regular run of classes.
Oh yeah. Plus he would do the assign out microphones, decks,
Right.
Yes.
recorders, cameras, everything, and that is like the biggest pain in the butt. But it's a huge time commitment just to have that equipment not only be distributed, but it has to work. It has to work perfectly. And when it comes back, if it doesn't work, it has to be fixed. It goes on and on. I mean, his participation in this department is probably not recognized by those who.
Well, he's left a
wrote the
gigantic
checks.
hole, and culturally in Long Beach, we will miss him tremendously.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I can ask you both a question, I'll start with you, Ken. You talk about winning the award for those 3 years. How much of that meant to the three of you two and Doug? How much did that mean a lot to you to win those awards?
Well, it's very important for a program to have validation from the outside, and it was the first time that, in my experience doing the radio classes since 1979, it was our first time of being able to actually say, here's recognition from the outside. So it's not the personal validation for me, but for the department, it meant a great deal. It gave the department, the radio side of the department. You got Bob Hirsch, you got 4 Emmys, you got this guy who's an expert videographer for 25 years, but the radio side had just been kind of like, oh yeah, well there's the radio. But when we won those awards, then I won't say we achieved parity, but at least we achieved recognition in the wider world.
Very much so.
That's owed to Doug.
Yeah.
When you look at when you were at LEC, because I was in your class in 2006 in the radio class, when you see the LEC radio station, now we're here in the Pacific Coast
Yes.
Campus.
Yes.
How much of that shows that Doug meant so much with all the the podcast studios and
Yeah.
still the KCTY?
Yeah.
How much of that?
Oh, that's all due to Doug, In fact, I probably shouldn't say this, but Doug continued to help students who weren't even in the department anymore. He would smuggle them in here and let them continue their work, continue trying to improve, continue trying to make audition tapes. There's a gal, Wendy Phillips, we call her Wacky Wendy Phillips. She called herself that. In fact, she's in the audience tonight for this show. She did a radio program for many years at the other campus when they were up there. After everything moved down here, Wendy got a show on KLBP, but had no place to produce it. KLBP has only recently gotten the studio capability where you can actually produce something in there. So you had to produce them outside. Wendy had no place to do her show. Doug arranged for her to come in here and do it. And that's the thing about going that extra mile. It's so you're as a Long Beach City College student, you had the commitment from above. With Eric and with all the other people here, it wasn't just the time you were in the class. I mean, particularly in Doug's case, because he was here day to day with the equipment. If you needed something, I don't care if you've been a student 20 years ago, Doug remembered you and he'd help you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I can actually talk. I was in his work experience class for 2 semesters, and I learned a lot from Doug, and he was always nice enough to also allow us to check out equipment. I remember the 4K camera that he allowed me to check out with. And there were times also in class he was, would ask me, what do you want to talk about? What do you want to learn about? He was always there when you needed something or you needed questions or you needed to learn something. He was always there. It just shows how much of a gentle he was and how big of a loss it is for us all here. But let me ask you a question. If Doug was here right now, if you had one more chance to talk to him, what would you say to him?
Thank you. I never really thanked him. I mean, I said thanks after a thing, but I would thank him for the unceasing support he gave me, he gave the department, he gave the students. I couldn't have done what I was doing in the department without him, and I wish I'd had a chance to tell him that. I'll tell Judy that instead. Yeah.
Eric, if you had a chance, what would you say to him?
Oh, I would put him to work, probably.
Yeah, and
No.
he wouldn't complain about it. He'd just go to work and do it.
No, I think I thanked him many times, but not enough. You know, like what you were intimating, it would be this possible casualness of thanks, but the camaraderie of being part of this team. You know, the staff that teaches and the technical staff and all that, but to be part of that team and to have everybody so pro success, you know, just was, we were in sync together with that for many years, and that he had to be a big part of that, because the one thing, if you've ever been on sports teams or whatever, if you have one negative person on your team, whether it's at work or on a sports team or whatever, it doesn't happen. You have to have everybody that has that same goal, that same sort of mission statement in their head. And it was this, we'll do everything we can to have the students succeed. It was a great environment to be in.
Many nights when Eric and I were teaching, and we had a late evening class, and Doug was around for them to do what needed to be done. Many nights we closed the campus. In fact, we would go head to head with the custodian who wanted us out of the building because he had jobs to do. But we were just having too much fun, you know. We stayed around, the three of us, and talked way into the night. And we also, the three of us, many times closed Chili's. We closed the California Fish Grill a number of times. You know, just, yeah, we were discussing work, but we were also, as Eric said, camaraderie. You know, we were also just bonding, just, you know, and that's, I think, was a large part of the reason why the department had so much unity. Yeah. It was Doug.
Well, it's also the, in any organization, if I can get, remember my business school classes, every organization has a culture. And for us at that time, and it probably still is happening now, but I can only speak from our experience, the culture was that we were sort of in it together, and the success at all costs. I know I'm repeating it, but it was something that really was so important, and yet it was sort of the subtext of everything we just sort of chatted about casually, kind of a thing. So unfortunately with film and video and a little bit of radio, it's so equipment capital intensive. You can't just go, well, not with phones, I should be careful with what I'm saying, but back in my day, 4 years ago, it really was dependent on great equipment and that it worked properly. And that technical side of him, combined with his, you know, want to succeed, is
plus his history of see, the community television and other places where he had to work with somewhat less than, shall we say, state-of-the-art equipment.
Yes,
he
yes,
could keep
absolutely.
He could keep things going.
Yeah.
And make them work, regardless of the state of the equipment that he had.
Well, sometimes it was a paper clip holding together a camera part that needed a $400 part from Sony, but the paper clip would do. Are you guys running out of time? I hear you guys signaling each other. Do we still have time to chat? Because I do want to say, I do want to send my condolences, and I know you do too,
yes,
to his family, his extended family, Judy, of course. And it was such a shock. He sure seemed too young to me to be so ill, and I didn't see it coming.
I'm sorry he won't be around to work in the new era when the new Performing Arts building gets done. And I know Manny Pacheco is coming in to take over the radio side of things. It's going to be very exciting up there. So anybody that sees this, I'm sure Doug would be the first to say, you know, the show must go on, you know, and he would want us to remember him, but he'd also want us to go forward. And I know this department will with Hirsch, Mr. Hirsch, and everybody, Manny and everybody. This is a golden opportunity here. If I can just put in a little commercial for the radio, TV, and you know, the whole creative arts division. It is a great opportunity for anyone who's interested in hands-on work to come here. Nothing against the four-year schools around, but there is nobody anywhere in this area that's got a better record as far as placing people in placing students in production jobs. Long Beach City has an amazing record. The Long Beach City Mafia is all over this town.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the business.
So don't hesitate to think of this as a place. Well, you know, in fact, you're just about. Tell us about just a second. Tell us about what you're doing. You've got this interview that you've gone for.
Oh yeah, with the Anaheim Ducks, with Phil. You know, Phil's was the instructor.
Phil Hewlett.
Yeah.
Yes,
Good for you.
Phil just retired from the radio department this year. So he's got you interviewing for the Ducks job.
Well, we're just waiting to hear back, but
Yeah.
Well,
great.
if I could do a little addition to what you said was, I've always said there's two things that sort of happen with this department. It's a good thing and a bad thing. The good thing is that we don't really stick to prereqs that much. So you could be in the music video class the first semester you're here. You're in high school, and that fall you're already producing videos. There's a disadvantage of that because a third of the class won't know which end of the camera to look in. The middle third kind of know, and then you have three advanced. A third is advanced students. But the good thing is, you start here, and immediately you're handed like a full set of equipment you could produce a low-budget feature with and end up with an Oscar. I'm not exaggerating at all. Is that the way the program works, with that you could start these advanced classes as your first class, you could be making professional level broadcast quality videos and radio production, music production with the equipment that is available to you that first semester, which is an amazing thing. Because I've gone through 3 film schools, and at USC, you get to like smell the switcher board, I think, your 4th semester, and get to touch it your 5th semester. And then the other 2 schools, you don't get the good stuff until you're like maybe your last semester. You're definitely a senior. But to come here and immediately in that first class, you're walking out with a 4K broadcast quality camera is mind-blowing. You're not going to get that at the best film schools.
Yes.
And it's happening here. So I don't think people in this area even realize that what a resource this program is, to just take classes and become a filmmaker within 5 months from starting. So, and that's / videographer, radio producer, music producer, that's all there together. Sorry about my excitement, but it's such a cool thing about this program. I got to throw it in there because Doug had to be Doug to make that work. Because I've also taught at 2 other film schools, and let me tell you, if you don't have equipment people that are into it, into helping, into staying that extra hour to get the right equipment in and out, or 10, it doesn't happen. And I'm sure with his job, what his job description was, and how they delineate all these, division of labors among the people that work here, they don't have a sense of how it's all sort of analogy and word of mouth, and it just works because people decide we're going to do it together, we're going to make it work, and it took Doug to be able to be part of that. So
Props to Mr. Hurst too.
yes.
Yes,
Because he's the straw that.
Well, he's our
stirs the
rock
drink.
star in this
Yeah, he's a rock
department.
star.
I said that before the interview, so I hope he knows that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Doug was also a great man, very respectful, and I just want to say thank you to him as well. We're going to go and continue with the celebration. We're going to throw it off to our next band, Riley and the Cosmic Cowboys.
We are the Cosmic Cowboys, playing some songs for you here today. We want to thank Slushbox as well, did a great set for us. And let's kick it off, Cameron. Matter of fact, let's do road trip. Just imagine you're listening to an AM radio here, and you're tuning into the frequency of the Cosmic Cowboys. like this. But if we come apart at the seams, will we still share these old dreams? If we can't stop feeling the fight, will we want together tomorrow? Will we wash away? Will we wash away? Give it up for John Capito on the lead guitar here. There we go. So much. The song's called Maybelline. It's about a dreamer who wants to sleep among the stars. She's got goals and aspirations, and she wants to do stuff. But like Slushbox was saying, we live in this boxy kind of world, you know? So we gotta navigate the corners. Wait, I think we got a couple more songs for you guys here. Feed My Eyes. You do have to feed your eyes once in a while. Yeah, this song's about going on a road trip and just feeding your eyes with all the vistas and all the things you see. And it's off our new album, Songs for Road Tripping. So here we go, guys. Crashes on bass. Let's cheer it again for John Capito on lead guitar. And my name is Riley Hodges. Thank you. I'll take it. I'll take it. And we got one more song for you, okay?
Two more.
Maybe two. A performer, I think, coming soon as well. Chad, I believe, is coming up next. We got to fit him in. Yeah, this next song is called For Your Love. It's kind of a spooky rock song we just put out, so you can check it out on streaming. For Your Love. Everybody around here, calm down. I'm growing like a bonfire. Let's dance around. I'm molten like a pure steel heart. Just for your love. Just for your love. Just for your love. Calm down. I'm rolling like a bonfire. Let's dance around. I'm molten like a pure steel heart. Just for your love. Just for your love. Fire again. Just for your love. Just for your love. That it breaks my remaining faith for a hollow-hearted grave. But if my reservoir of love the beats true, I'll be back for you. Thank you very much, guys. We're the Cosmic Cowboys. That's our set. And appreciate you tuning in. And yeah, what a beautiful day in honor of Doug Wood. I think we're going to talk about it a little bit right now.
We are. So, great job, guys. Want to join us? Why don't we get all of them up here? Yeah, another round of applause. Riley Hodges and the Cosmic Cowboys. Oh yeah. little warm in here, but hey, we have the Brough. All right, Riley, we're gonna talk to you since you knew Doug the most. Come over here to this side. So, as I asked earlier with the members of Slushbox, how did you and Doug first meet each other and get going? Where did you guys start?
So I had to check my text messages on this one. Actually, can I use this mic? Or do I have to use this one? Anyway, okay. I was checking my text messages earlier to find out how I did meet Doug. And so it's kind of interesting because we worked on so many different projects together. And I believe it was through Jammin' Live, through Judy initially, that we played a set at Jammin' Live. And then we worked together through the work experience program at my family's business. So we own a business in downtown Long Beach called Shannon's Corner. And Doug brought students to Shannon's Corner, and they did a lot of filming there. And we actually created our own TV show called Cosmic Cocktails, which included music. Our band was playing, and also cocktails, which Doug really loved. And so, yeah, that's how I met him and sort of worked with him.
Okay. How, as a band, how'd you guys get together? Where did the Cosmic Cowboys start? Sure. I'm sure we all want to know that. Where did the Cosmic Cowboys start?
Sure, yeah. Well, John and I met at his business, at his studio. He owns a studio where he teaches lessons, and we formed a band at that time. It was like 2012, I want to say. And we got together with Cameron shortly thereafter. That band was called Taste of Red, which was more of a 90s rock band. And then we formed the Cosmic Cowboys, to your question, a little bit more recently. I guess it was like 2019 or so, kind of around the same time I met Doug. Yeah, and we had worked out these songs. And, of course, the pandemic, caused everybody to put everything on hold. We stopped playing shows kind of with the Cosmic Cowboys. We had just gotten started in 2019. And then we just rebanded again recently with Fuzz. And, we call him Fuzz in this band. And so, yeah, so I'll let John maybe talk a little bit more about that, if that's okay.
Yeah, so like Riley was saying, we met at the Belmont Music Studio back in the day, probably circa 2012. I just remember hearing him take vocal lessons and him sounding good. And, of course, I was just in and out of lessons, as I always am, which I love to do. Because I know the Belmont Music Studio is watching right now. We're streaming it live at the shop. So I love so I love what I do. I, followed my passion, and I'm fortunate for that. And then so Riley and I met. I heard him. He sounded great, and I just started small talking, which I always do. And then we started jamming and would work on writing songs and did just a ton of recording sessions and just working together and just having fun. Yeah.
It's crazy real quick how him and I met real quick
And then
randomly at a
Cameron
Valley
and I-
walkie-talkie at Fletcher Jones, knowing that I don't know who he is, and him and I are in the morning at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we met.
We used to valet park at
Valley
Fletcher
Park,
Jones.
And we'd be playing each other's radio to each other's walkie, and like, you play music? Yeah, I play music. And then that was that. We worked there for like a year. Find out he opened his business the same time, 2012, and I have a bicycle shop in Long Beach. We're all Long Beach owners. It just kind of was cool how it all. It's cool how it clicked everything, and I always remind all of us how cool on the non-music side, how good, well we get along, and deal with each other's stuff, daily life. That's half of the battle, and that's the Cosmic Cowboys. We're gonna stick it out. We're doing well. It's kind of nice. Got this guy ripping on the bass here.
Hey, how you doing?
This is Frank.
What was the question?
The question is, what do you have for dinner tonight?
Oh, I'm fasting. No dinner.
Oh, no dinner.
Soup, probably. Pea soup.
But yeah, it's a pretty neat experience. All four of our personalities together and everything, and it works really well. It's kind of neat. I mean, because a band is a family too. You got to click, and it has to work out, and so that's that. That's all I have to say right now. I mean, yeah. Well, I don't even think it's on, bro. Check. Hey, Mike, you have a line? Call one. Hold on.
So, as all of us know, it's a celebration of life for Doug, and we have Judy here with us, which is it's a nice surprise. Judy, it's a pleasure to have you here with us. You and Doug did so much to bring the program to where it is today, and we all appreciate you for that so very much. On the more personal side of things, do you have any sort of memory that you want to share with us that you and Doug, or yourself with Doug and Judy, however that may have gone, and any memories that you would like to share for the audience, how you and Doug got along?
Sure, yeah. So the special thing about Doug, as Sharon was saying earlier, is that he just kind of kept everybody happy and calm with his demeanor. You know, working in radio, television, and music, you know, you're performing and things like that. So I just remember working with Doug in that respect, and really just my favorite memories actually were talking on the phone with him, because we could talk for hours about technical stuff, band stuff. And I forgot to mention KLBP may have been, I think I met Judy through KLBP. KLBP's radio station headquarters are at Shannon's Corner. And so then I met Doug shortly thereafter. So whether it was talking about KLBP, whether it was talking about the Cosmic Cocktails, he just was so easy to talk to. And so there's just a lot of really fond memories of calling him up and, you know, talking about the next idea, the next show that we wanted to put on. And he would just made it so easy and so fun. So, yeah.
Was there anything that was in the works that unfortunately can't happen, maybe can or can't happen anymore with Doug not being with us? Is there anything that you guys were currently working on or in the process of getting started to bring out in the future? Anything there?
Yeah. So we were going to bring Cosmic Cocktails to ABC. No, I'm just kidding. We were really dreaming big with that concept, and whether we would have done that again in that current form, or whether we would do another live music show at the top and bring Jammin' Live there. There were some projects like that. I think we're working with Bob on bringing the work experience program back to Shannon's Corner. So that was something that we were working on together with Doug, but that can continue. It'd be great. And so
that's awesome.
Can I ask real quick, because this vibe's rad. I felt something when I was in the restroom today. I was like, man, we should really do this once in a while more often. Like, I think this would be a cool program, whatever you want to make it, or event, whether it's once a month, every 6 months, whatever. But I think we should continue this kind of live band thing. It's kind of cool. I don't know what you guys are doing with this, but
this is definitely different.
Yeah, I think we might have to start some up here with this. It's kind of cool. That's all. It's a rad thing. Yeah, Long Beach needs it. I think we need this in the community a little bit, and like bring some kids. And John's always teaching students too. And it's great just to have the form of the circle of life, right? So.
Circle of life is definitely circle of life is one thing that is always something to keep in mind. But other than that, gentlemen, thank you so much for being here. Can we get another round of applause? All right. Thank you guys so much. We got one more special performance coming up. His name is Chad Bishop, so we're going to bring him up, and he's going to give us one final performance. So let's welcome Mr. Chad Bishop.
Okay, so I guess I better not take up too much time. Good afternoon, everybody. Judy, sending you much love. Back when I was a wee youngster at LBCC in the music program, Doug and Judy were the first ones to ever play any of my original music. And throughout the years, they encouraged me to continue, and I really appreciate your impact on my life. And may Doug rest in peace. He was always a kind soul. Love him, man. Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah. Long and hard, far and wide. No matter where you go, yeah, your love, it can't hide. No, see, I had to work long and hard. I travel far and wide, just to see the sunrise in your eyes. No matter where you go, you're not too far away. I'm gonna find you if it takes me the rest of my days. 'Cause you're what I want, you're everything I need. I know the Lord's gonna bring your love home to me. 'Cause right here with me, that's where you'll always be. Home free. Any time of day, whenever you're around, nothing in this world could ever bring me down. When you go away, and every single night, I came out, baby, you leave me feeling alright. 'Cause you're where I want, everything I need, and I know the Lord's gonna bring your love home to me. 'Cause right here with me, that's where you'll always be. Home free. Do, 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 do. Hey. Cause right here with me is where you'll always be. Home free. Yeah, right here with me is where you'll always be. Home free. Yeah, right here with me. No more suffering now, Doug. 'Cause you are home free. Thank you. Big shout out to K-House. K-House Radio, Mr. Keith Huff. The song is in rotation at KLBP. We'll do one more and get out of here, man. Much respect, much love and respect to KLBP, LBCC, and all that. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of letters out there, man. I only know like 2 or 3, and when you start jumbling them all together, it gets a little confusing. But this is all Long Beach love. And this song is for the heartbreakers. Don't be that, because people will write songs like this about you. It's called Take, Take, Take. Slush Box, Cosmic Cowboys in the house. I can tell you some lies just to keep you satisfied. I put my heart on the line. Tell me why did I try? Said we would do better. I gave it all that I got. But in return you gave a little when you down and then you twist me around until you take all of me, all of me. I put my heart on the line, yeah. I did it too many times. 2 empty bottles of cheap wine, yeah. You know I cried, yes I cried. Said that we would do better and talked about it before. But now we're back where we started when we could have had so much more. But you take pieces of me until my heart's not where it's supposed to be. Take me up, take me down, and then you twist me around until you take all of me, all of me. Yeah, I said you take pieces of me until my heart's not where it's supposed to be. Take me up, take me down, and then you twist me around until you take all of me, all of me, all of me. You take all of me. Thank you.
Well, Chad, come on up. We want to talk to you for a second. You think you can perform without us talking to you? Come on now. So, as we all know, you are Mr. Chad Bishop, I believe, right? I got that right. You mentioned that you were a student or a prodigy of Doug and Judy with KLBP and just being a part of them and working with them. What can you tell us about that?
Around 2010, 2011.
There we go.
Thank you. It's like I feel like I'm on Soul Train. Oh yeah, check. Around 2010, 11, I went to Long Beach City College and I was in the music business program. I was just strolling down the hall. A good friend of mine, Don Bleasy, said, come check out this radio show. So the show that we went to see was Doug and Judy's show. And they said, once you get into the recording process and you have some music that you want to share, bring it to our show and we'll play it. So that eventually happened. I went to the show, they played the music, and not only did they play the music, but they coached me on how this thing actually works, and they were very supportive, and it actually got me started on the path that got me to where I am right now. I definitely appreciate it, Judy. Oh, man.
Path to greatness.
I love you. Yes. So that's Doug and Judy were like there at the very, very beginning.
Trying to think of something I can ask. I mean, you talk about how you met Doug and Judy and how you were able to write your music and send it to them, and they played it live for you. Where, career-wise, where did that take you? You know, like after letting them play their music out on KLBP, where did your career go after that?
It gave me the confidence to actually go out and play those songs live. And then there were groups like Slushbox, who was called something else at that time, who were already out performing. So this is like LBCC family, man. I feel like there are people here who were around when I could not play one note on the guitar. And they just been great examples for me. And I'm appreciative of that. So it led me to answer your question, gave me the confidence to go out and actually play original songs. And once they got a certain, acceptance. It was like, okay, maybe I can play a little more original stuff.
That's great. How long has how long have you been doing this? How long has your career been going? How long have you been playing guitar and writing music and then performing and doing this, that, and the other?
Playing music since I was a little kid, but actually pursuing it, I was playing with it around 2010 and 11, but around 2015 I actually started performing full time. But I learned in middle school, I studied music all the way through college, but I never pursued it as a career. Then a bunch of life changes happened, and it's like, there's time to at least try it now, because you may not get this chance again in life. And fortunately, it's working out so far. I'm still alive, and
You're here performing for us today.
yeah, man, loving it.
All right, so that is Mr. Mr. Doug. Mr. Doug. Wow. See, he's here with us. He's here. Mr. Chad Bishop, thank you so much for joining us here today. We really appreciate you stopping by and giving your time. That's Sean. Pleasure. Can we give one more round of applause? Chad Bishop, Riley Hodges, and the Cosmic Cowboys, the Slush Box. Everybody that is here, that has joined us here today, thank you all for coming in. Judy, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate you. That's it. You guys made it through. You just watched us do something that we've hardly ever done before. It's not very often that we get to do something like this. Normally, we're pre-taping everything, and we have time to edit it all and then have it go out live. But this is something that we're experimenting. So, on behalf of everybody involved, all the camera operators, everybody in the audio booth, for my broadcast partner, Mr. Edward Riantasso, want to thank all of you for coming. Thank you all for watching on the live stream. Doug, we love you. We miss you. We know that you are in a better place now and that you are no longer in any pain. And we love and we miss you, and just rest in peace, man. That's all we can say is just rest in peace. Thank you all for watching today. And this has been a celebration of life for Mr. Douglas Wood.